Hello and welcome back, my beautiful people. In this video we will have a look at the CSV library so we can read in some CSV files and write through them. So you can store your data, for example for machine learning, artificial intelligence, your trained data in a CSV file. Let's dig right into it. CSV is a simple import. We can simply import CSV like this. Then we make an example data like names that we put in a list with Carl, Monica, and Erica, like this. Now, we want to write to a CSV file. Therefore, we can write with open. This means as long the file which we refer to in this is open, as long the intent code will be executed. Then we need to insert a path where the CSV file is stored. If we want to read from it, where is it stored, or where we should put it if we write it. Then we put in W for write, and we need an alias like scsv_file. Yeah, like this. And now, to make a writer, there's a function from CSV which is called writer. So we make a new variable called csv_writer is equal to csv.writer. Cool. And in here we simply can give our CSV file which we have created with our alias. And then we have the possibility to write a row. A row will be single entries separated by a comma. And as we have a list, lists are also separated by a comma. We can simply make the CSV writer dot write row and give in our array, our list, of course. And let's have a look what is happening if we execute it. Then we have here this follower the CSV file, and in there are our names. Cool. Externally stored. And now, if we want to run it again, let's have a look what is happening. We don't get additionally values. Like every time we use it, it gets overwritten. There's another possibility, which I think is more useful because you don't want to delete your old values. And therefore we can simply change this W to an A, which means append. We run it, look in our file, and then we get another row, like Carl, Monica, Erica. Cool. And now the other thing is we want to read it back in again. For example, if we have single program where we train our model, want to get this data stored, and in another program we want to read it in. So we need the possibility to read it in again. Therefore, we can also write with open, refer to the link where your file is stored, like follower.csv. Tooltips are huge. And then we can put in read, R for read, and then also an alias like scsv file. And then we make a CSV reader this time. And it's easy as before, csv.reader. And now we simply put in our CSV file as well. So, and now, you maybe ask yourself, what is a CSV reader? The CSV reader, you can imagine like class, where we have now two dimensional values stored. Like we have rows and we have columns. Now, to access a single row, we can simply make a for each loop. Like we check for row in CSV reader, and now we can print our row and have a look at it. And now we get a massive amount of rows because we're always appending it every time I rerun the code. But this is good, so we see it's working. And now, as we have some empty lines, we make sure simply to use only rows where some values are stored in. Therefore, we can make if length of the row isn't 0, because if it isn't 0, there is some entry in there, then we make something with it. And Now we make another list, which we call input from CSV. This is an empty list. And now we can loop through each row. You think each row is a single list, and we get through every element, and this element we will put to our new list. And then we make for element in row, and we need to append it to our input from CSV. Append and put in our element. And now, in the end, we can print our new input from CSV. And we see we have all our values back. Hopefully you learned something from the video, you get some value back, and now you understand how CSV files are working. We can write through to them, we can append to them, and we can even read them in. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.